Welcome back to another episode of Hoopy Story Podcast. We put basketball proper perspective. I'm Dino's Ball. I'm here with Chris. I'm here with Ray, and we got a lot on the docket today. We have a disagreement about Jason Tatum and what's going on in the finals right now. Celtics up 2-0 on the Dallas Mavericks. They say the series don't start until you win on the road, so it's not too much panic being had right now, but it is being interesting because Jason Tatum is not having the greatest shooting series. He's shooting 30% from the field, 32% to be exact, and he's shooting 29% from three. He's averaging 17, 10, and I think 9. So he's having a good overall game. But I will say this: he's not close to looking like a finals MVP, and he didn't have a ECF MVP. So what does this say about Jason Tatum? Even if he does win a championship, is this changing how you looking at him?
Um, Not really. I don't. I mean, yeah, I guess it will just solidify what I think that he's not on the same level as Luca. He's not on the same level as Giannis. He's not on the same level as Jokic. He's not on those guys' tiers. He's not in that tier, and that's okay. He still can be a very good player. He's doing a lot of things, right in this series. Um, Call me crazy, but the stat line he putting up is very Josh Hart versus the Pacers.
I was just arguing with Ray because I said I'm just gonna keep it a book. This has been the worst number one option finals run that I've ever seen in my life. But let's just say the Celtics win in 5 or 6 games, they win a championship, and Tatum just never explodes. He stays kind of even keeled with his performances. This doesn't it really does nothing for him. It's like, yeah, you got a chip, but it don't do nothing for him in terms
I ain't gonna
of
say that.
how we look at him as an individual player. Team success is team success. But if you go like, man, Jason Tatum is this, Jason Tatum is that, it don't do nothing for him in that aspect. Because boy, what? This has been the most least impressive run for a guy that's trying to break into that top 5. That's what I'm gonna say.
And let me preface this. When I said putting up Josh Hart like numbers, he's doing that on steroids, obviously.
No,
But
don't back off your point. He's playing like a superstar role player. Like, let's
I'm
just
not
keep it a buck, bro. I get it. His team is winning. But Ray just sat up here and said the leaders for Finals MVP on the Celtics right now is Jaylen Brown and Jrue Holiday. We've been arguing on this podcast for years about how Jrue Holiday is bad in the playoffs, and he's over Jason Tatum for Finals MVP right now. 2 game sample size. I'm just saying, bro. Like, I get the Celtics are winning, but we can't overlook just Tatum is not even looking like, bro. At this point, he's the 4th best player on his team. That's what it's looking like.
the fourth. I'm not saying
In terms of
fourth.
getting the Finals MVP, yeah, third or
Eh,
fourth, third, fourth, third or
he's
fourth.
about third. He's about third in my opinion right now. I just think um, Jason Tatum plays. He's been playing great on defense. I mean, well, I ain't even gonna say that because Loki, that man was getting hunted by Luca this last game, and he couldn't stop Luca 1-on-1. So I can't even give Tatum that he's like he's not a Kawhi level, wing stopper, nothing like that. He plays very solid team defense, um, in that regard. So, I mean, Tatum is he's a great player, superstar role player. At times, he can break out and be your number one superstar, but he hasn't done that in this series, and maybe he's just having a bad series. But it does matter that he's not
Had a
doing it.
bad playoff run. First round, we like, oh man, he not looking good. Second round, we like, oh man, he's all right. Conference finals, we like, oh, he's playing a little bit better, but Jaylen Brown was better. And now in the finals, it's 2 or 3 guys that we done seen play better than him. Like, at what point are we gonna be like, say, man, I don't know, Tatum. Like, why we can't do that? Just because they winning, we can't be critical. Just because they winning, we can't be critical. That's my problem. I guess
No,
winning cures all.
we could be critical. Like I'm
Ray
not.
can't. He's leading rebounding, assists. What's we doing here?
I mean that does matter. I mean he's doing things. He's an impact winning. Maybe just not at the level as other players, and that's okay. Um,
I've never seen nobody baby a super duper star on a crazy team shooting 30% from the field and 20% from the three.
I've
And he's
always
been the third guy on his team, playing like you
yeah.
said, a superstar role player. We've never done this. As a guy
I,
that we said, if Tatum can win a chip, if Tatum get a Finals MVP, he's going to be right here. This is the worst case scenario for Tatum if he wins a championship. How this run is going? Is y'all not serious? Are y'all serious? This is the
I've
worst case scenario for him, even if he wins.
look Tatum. Tatum is still going to be looked at. And like this is what I said about Tatum. I said he is not on the level of some of these other guys in
Mhm.
in the NBA because had they had the surrounding cast that he's had, they'd have already won a finals by now. Last year, if you throw Luca on that team in place of Tatum, they have a ring. They don't lose to Miami in 7. They don't go down 0-3. If you put Shea, you put other guys on that team, they would have had a ring within Tatum's career already. Tatum has had his chance to do that, and yet now he's at the. I said if he doesn't win this one, it's gonna look really bad.
I'm saying the way he's been playing this playoffs, even if he win this one, from my personal perspective, it does nothing for how I rank Tatum individually. And that in itself is disgusting. Like you winning a championship and you still can't move the needle on a personal level is all I'm saying. He's
So,
gonna go ahead.
so you saying when we do off-season rankings and stuff like that, we rate individual talent players. You're not moving Tatum up if even if they win the ring.
How can I? Come on, and this the thing that
He
He
still
had a
has a
lot to
good
say off
shot.
here. He had a lot to say when we wasn't live, but he can't say. How can I move him up? That's what I'm saying. And for the fact
He's
that you won a championship, you don't get ECF, don't look like you finna get Finals MVP. This is worst case scenario for a winner. This is ugly. Leave it to Jason Tatum to win in this ugly fashion. That's all I'm saying.
he still has a chance to win Finals MVP. He's not just out of the running altogether. Now there's still 2 more games. He has a couple good games. Then he's probably gonna win.
He's just not as good as Jaylen Brown, bro. He's just not as good. He's just not as good.
You haven't been saying that.
But I'm saying, okay, we kind of all conceded that Jason Tatum was the best Celtic. We conceded that like over the last couple years. We'd have seen what he did against Philly. We'd have seen what he did against Milwaukee. And he has great moments at times. But I've been saying this. I don't think he's a number one scoring guy. I think he's a great overall player. But at some point, with the way Jaylen Brown has been playing from this whole playoff run, this whole season as a two-way player, if he wins conference finals MVP, then he wins finals MVP. Is it not gonna be a conversation that Jaylen Brown the best player on this team? Like, are we just gonna keep overlooking this, or is Tatum, regardless of anything that happens, as long as they win, just Tatum, Tatum, Tatum?
A lot of people are still gonna say Tatum.
And it's mind boggling. If Jaylen Brown wins conference finals MVP and then finals MVP, how in the hell are you people go say Jason Tatum is still better than him? I don't get it at this point, Chris. I
They will
don't get it.
they will say it because Jason Tatum does everything else. He does everything, and he has the ability to give you more. So he rebounds, he play makes. They're making excuses. Oh, the Mavericks are doubling Tatum so much that he has to drive in the lane. He has no choice but to kick.
Bro, Tatum can really get anything he want. He just been blowing layups. He been blowing layups. He been missing open threes. It's not, bro. The Mavericks defense ain't just super staunch on Tatum like that. He's getting in the paint every time he get the ball. Every time he touches the ball, he get anywhere he want to go. He's missing the stuff that Jaylen Brown is finishing. Like when Jaylen Brown got around Luka and then dunked and Cleveland didn't even want to jump. Like that just Tatum is getting past people and he's just not finishing the layups. He's not finishing them. So I don't know.
Hey,
I'm gonna act
I'm
like
a
the Mavericks are just selling out on Tatum. Stop it.
no. I don't agree with that either. I don't think the Mavericks even need to do that to Tatum in order to win. If I like I said last time, if you leave Tatum in single coverage and he takes about 25, 30 shots and he beats you, great. I just don't see it happening. Or I see him maybe getting one more game, and that's all the Mavericks can afford to do. I don't see Tatum getting multiple games by himself.
Bro, I was listening to a podcast. They had Rajah Bell on. Rajah Bell said, man, they asked him who would he rather guard, Luka or Kyrie. He said Luka just because he like I can't do nothing with Luka, but Kyrie just too shifty. Then they asked him Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum, who would he rather guard? He said Jason Tatum because I think I can make him settle. And it's getting to the point where it's like, why can't we elevate Jaylen Brown to being the best player on the Celtics if he's playing like the best player, and then he's gonna have the stats and accolades to back it up? That's all I'm saying. Like Ray, he been very real quiet, but it's
Tatum
all good.
Tatum is the Celtics' golden boy protected child. You can't say nothing bad about Tatum.
It's disgusting.
He can shoot as bad as he wants, but as long as he's out there running around throwing balls to people and grabbing rebounds, and he's the best. He's the best thing since sliced bread.
If Jaylen Brown get Finals MVP, I don't want to hear nothing about Tatum being the best player on the Celtics. That's what I'm gonna say. That's what I'm gonna
All
say. I
right,
promise I don't want to hear it.
Tatum is so mature. He's just willing to step down and let his teammates do everything. He's so mature. He could take over the game and win it himself, but Tatum decides to just play a role.
Dude is a buster. Okay, let's talk about the Mavericks real quick. So I did want to ask this question. Say, bro, Kyrie Irving. Say, dog, because I just brought up Tatum and how he had more field goal attempts than he has field goal than points. Kyrie Irving the same way, bro. Kyrie Irving is bro. 37 field goal attempts, 28 points. He has less points than PJ Washington. He's been shooting 35 from the field, and he hasn't even made a three in 8 attempts. Crazy. 14 points, 4 assists, 2.5 rebounds in these 2 games. I feel like the role players actually showed up in game 2, and I felt like Kyrie started off good, and then that second half, he just couldn't do nothing. It was like he was 5 and 10 at one point, then he ended up 7 and 18. So, what is this? I ain't gonna because everything. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Because I was gonna ask, how is this gonna change how we view Kyrie if he's gonna be the reason if Dallas lose the series? Because that's kind of where it's trending towards. Because it looked like the role players start playing better. Derrick Jones Jr. was playing better. Daniel Gafford start playing a little bit better. No, they start doing they was doing their job. If Kyrie don't go 7 for 18, if the Mavericks don't miss all them free throws, this is a different discussion. Miss free throws and Kyrie Irving
bricking threes by the other Mavericks too.
Oh yeah, but Boston was missing threes too, so it's like everybody was missing threes.
Will this? I mean, it's gonna look bad on Kyrie. I mean, we can't just say that we can't play double standards and be like, oh, if he wins, then he's gonna get vaulted in so much praise. But if he lose, then it's just nothing's gonna mean anything. It's gonna mean something. Like he didn't perform. He let the Boston story Boston fans, whatever, get to him, and then now he's not, performing the way he wants. He's too focused on fighting the fan, trying to prove to the fans or whatever, that he's not, performing when it comes to the games, and then he's getting picked on defense as well. So it is going to look bad. But I'm going to say this series is not over yet. He has a chance to change that. Maybe a change of scenery, maybe getting back to home, you know, shooting at home and stuff like that will be better for him, and he'll get his confidence back and he'll be able to apply that the rest of the series. But right now, it don't look so good.
Ray, what are you seeing from Kyrie? It's just bad, bro. He playing
Oh,
worse than Tatum.
I was letting y'all have a minute session, man. That's why I'm over here just listening.
Look at this.
I mean, not knocking down shots. I mean, it ain't. I don't think they're throwing any defense at him that he hasn't seen throughout the playoffs. Um, so I think it's more so just his shots are just not falling, and when it's not falling, and you continue to taking shots, it's gonna look bad. And then he's not doing anything else on the court that's influencing anything. So it doesn't look good because it's like, okay, your shot not falling, and you're not playmaking,
Now
and you're not
rebounding.
you're not really doing much on defense. Like, so it's
Yeah.
kind of like it's easy to just say, bro, you not having a good series because at least like I said before we got on live, I said what's called Tatum having a bad shooting series. But that's the only thing people can continuously point to. Even I mean, it is horrific. Don't get me wrong. He's shooting terrible. But it's like, okay, but he is also leading the series in rebounding. He's leading his team in assists. He's
Mm-hmm.
also been asked of, hey, sometimes can you guard the center on the other team, and can you switch so when they try to do a pick and roll, you can switch. It makes it easier. So he has been. You can still feel his presence out there. If Kyrie not scoring the way he's been playing so far, it's like I forgot you was on the court.
Hmm.
Like I honestly forgot you was on the court. So
Yeah.
it's that's why it's so bad when Kyrie ain't having a great shooting series because it's like we need your offense. Like we really need that. And Luka is out there by himself on the battlefield right now, and you just like, no, he good out there solo right now, like he Achilles or something. Like no, he
He
need
having
help.
he's even having a bad ball handling series.
Yeah,
Like if you
Yeah.
watching Kyrie handle the ball, it's like,
I
bro,
seen one
it
play. Jaylen Brown was locking him up so much, made him travel.
exactly, and that's the game one he losing it off his shoe, like clamped up, like it's
He
just.
he lost it in a big moment in this game too as well. So it's just
Do y'all think Kyrie's so loved he's not getting the criticism he deserves? Because I think he's literally the main reason why the Mavericks aren't being more competitive in this series. I'll say it like that.
I still think he's getting criticism, but I still think a lot of people are like, well, it's Kyrie Irving. He's gonna break out of it. He's not gonna. It's not gonna be like this for too long. It's already been like it a little too long because we down Mavericks down 0-2. So, but I mean, if he has the chance to get rid of all that, 2 games at home, tied up, still make it a 3-game series. So
Luca has 62 points in these 2 games. Kyrie has 28. Luca has more than doubled Kyrie in points. Kyrie has 5 rebounds and 8 assists in 2 games. This is bad. It's actually bad, bro. So it's like it's no defending Kyrie outside of the fact that people just like him. Because I was watching that game and it was just like, man, especially that third quarter, it was like, bro, Kyrie, if a couple of these shots go this way, he was missing the momentum shots we used to him making. Like we're like,
yep.
okay. So it's like that's a big deal, especially like Ray said, you don't give us nothing else. And we don't keep it real about that. Kyrie don't hardly give us nothing else. He don't give us nothing else. He don't fill up the stat sheet outside of the point. So, like I can say what I want about Jason Tatum, but like Ray said, he'll give you rebounds, he'll give you assists, he'll give you blocks, he'll give you great defense. Kyrie not scoring, it's like, bruh, and he's 6'2", and it's starting to show. So it's like, man, I can't say nothing because when I was looking at that game, because I said what I said about Derrick Jones Jr., and I'm like, he had some good passes. That pass he had to Josh Green, he was finishing, he was playing good defense. He had that M1 on Tatum. Daniel Gafford in that fourth quarter, he was trying to keep us in it. He was going at Tatum. He was getting him like PJ. Of course, he go shoot terrible from three. PJ's just go shoot terrible from three. It just is what it is. But he was playing tough. He was finishing inside. I think he was the second leading scorer outside of Kyrie from an efficiency level. So at this point, there's really no. Oh, the only person played worse than Kyrie was Maxi Cleaver. When Maxi got in the game, the league vanished, and that was just some of the worst stretch of basketball I've seen from the Mavericks. That was terrible, bro. He airballed that three, missed a three, tried to go coast to coast, got his shit pinned. That was just a terrible 3 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if Maxi just because he be battling them demons with his shot, and then him coming off that shoulder injury didn't make it even any better. So him throwing him back in there, great. He's a great defender. He can switch. He can do it all, but that ain't gonna help us if you can't hit a shot and space the floor a little bit.
I don't think Derek Lively has had the greatest series either.
It's been 2 games. Derek Lively had a good first game, despite being in foul trouble.
I was just going to say good.
Despite being in foul trouble because of BS. I think he had a decent game in last game. He didn't have his best, but I'm confident Lively will be fine and he'll bounce back.
I feel bad for Luka, bro. I really do. He hasn't had a 20-point per game scorer next to him in these 2 games. I think Boston has had 3 to 4 guys get over 20 already. That's crazy. So ain't nobody scored a dub, y'all, in 2 games. Luka the only person that went over 20. Man. And yeah. I think Luka's averaging 31, 11, 6 assists, and 3 steals. He's shooting 51 from the field, 38 from 3, but he is shooting 46% from the free throw line. The Mavericks did miss 8 free throws, and they lost by 7 points.
That's crazy.
So free throw shooting was terrible. I think they was like 2 for 7 in their first quarter. I was like, bro,
how you in the finals and you not shooting free throw? Like, make it. I don't get that. Like, at this point, you should have that under wraps by now, under control.
Is there anything the Mavericks can do going into Game 3?
Yeah, I think they'll be fine. I think they do have a good chance of getting these next 2. I'm not going to act like it's just a foregone conclusion like I did, and they would get Game 2. But I still think they have a good chance of tying this thing up and making it a series again. I think, hopefully putting a lot in this, but I think Kyrie will actually play good back at home. The role players will actually hit threes back at home, which is very key to keeping the Mavericks, in the game, in the series. Nobody is able to hit threes in Boston for some reason. So as soon when we get back home, Mavericks get back home, and we got them PJ threes, and you get them Derrick Jones, he's hitting from the corner, and then Luka hitting his step backs because he's feeling good, and Kyrie running down the court, pulling up for 3. Then I feel they'll be doing all right. So
Mavericks are shooting 25% from 3 and 65% for the free throw line the first 2 games.
Yeah, the turnovers is just ridiculous. It's too many people dribbling off their foot, letting people just walk down the court, letting Boston just rip their pocket, just bad decision making when passing the ball, stuff like that. Like it's too much of that. So I hope next couple games they get that under wrap, and that's less possessions that are wasted for Boston. Every time Boston misses a three, you have to capitalize on that because all they want to do is run and take threes. So
Mavericks 26 turnovers in 2 games.
So you can't win like that. So.
Because another thing, because game 2 I think was a good chance for the Mavericks to steal it, and I just think they blew it because they won the points in the paint battle. They had more points in the paint. They had more rebounds. They said in the broadcast that the playoff teams, I forgot the records, but the record was crazy by the team that won the rebounding battle, and the Mavericks won the rebounding battle and points in the paint battle, and they still found a way to lose. So I don't know, man.
I mean, yeah, I think that's the case, and then I know. And defensively, I mean, you can say Boston missed shots or whatever, but in regards, Mavericks held them, to one of their lower scoring performances and bad shooting nights. So, you could say, oh, that's mostly on Boston, or you could say that the Mavericks actually changed their strategy a little bit and, forced them into doing stuff they didn't necessarily want to do.
Right. Is there a glaring talent gap between Boston and the Mavericks, objectively speaking?
Yeah. Because I mean, one thing that goes into talent is who can put the ball in the hoop on a more effective in more effective ways, and just like simple thing like I think Mavericks as a team has just been bad when it comes to just not taking care of the ball. Like even as good as we think Luka has been, game 2 I think was even more you can put the spotlight on. Dude almost had a quadruple double with the turnovers included.
I was just
In
gonna
this
say,
in this
yeah,
series, in this series he's averaging the same amount of turnovers as he is as assists right now. He has even in total assists and total
yeah,
turnovers, he's
12 assists,
averaging
12
like
turnovers.
so it's like I don't know. I don't care how good you rebound the ball. I don't care about the points in the paint. If you turn that ball over like that, shoot, you giving up like that. I always looked at turnovers as second chance points for the defense or the other team you going against. Because now it's like, oh, well, I mean, dang, they got the rebound, but if you go back on the other court and you don't get a shot up, but a turnover instead, that's just another opportunity for that team to say, well, we stopped them, and now we got a chance to make up for the missed shot we had on the previous play.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's the only thing they really need to clean up is they turnovers. And this gonna sound crazy, but maybe Kid is going to have to play Hardy and Hardaway more because Green ain't shooting good. Cleaver ain't hit a 3 yet. And these are two guys that, especially Hardaway is proven I can come off the bench and get hot. Mm-hmm. Right now, yeah, y'all been playing good defensively, but that defense ain't adding to no offense. So we need somebody who can go out there and we know is a proven scorer coming off that bench. We need a microwave scorer right now. Josh Green is not it. PJ ain't been that great from the 3. He has been scoring the ball, but it's been more so in like him just being a slasher mode and him getting to the line. Derrick Jones Jr. He kind of recovered a little bit compared to game 1. And Gafford, he had a solid game too. But man, They need some shooters out there. Like it makes no sense.
I
Hardaway
agree.
only has one shot attempt in this finals.
Yeah,
We ain't
I
never
agree.
seen Hardaway only take one shot.
And you know what I think it is too? I think it's because they not putting two on the ball so where Luka can get the lob plays, Luka can get the easy kick out threes. And if them other dudes just get the ball and have to do something themselves, it do not look good. Like they can't make plays for themselves. I do like that point. Just put Hardaway in there, put Hardy in there, just because those are guys who at least will be able to get their own shot in their own situations.
And
So
that's gonna keep Boston defense honest. Like now they have to now we have to guard multiple scorers out here and ball handlers versus okay, we know Josh Green just gonna set up. Like he's not gonna do nothing. Like he's gonna be over there set in the corner or on the high wing. That's easy to guard. But when you got somebody out there, it's like, okay, if he gets the ball, I actually have to man up on this dude and actually guard up. That's a whole different type of pressure that's being brought versus just you may try to backdoor cut here and there, but mainly your objective is I'm just waiting for the catch and shoot.
I think that's what make the Kyrie situation so more disappointing too, because he is getting one-on-one coverage. He is supposed to be that second guy that's supposed to be able to cook. And it's just like, bro, you not doing nothing in. It's like, man, we're gonna have to put Tim Hardaway in.
I think you still roll with the guys you've been rolling with that's been playing so far, but you give them a very short leash. If Maxey get out there and he take a couple threes and he missing, come on, and Hardaway gonna be in there. If Josh Green not hitting his corner threes, Hardy getting out there. I think you give them a chance because I think you still I still want them to 5 minutes for Jaden Hardy especially, but I don't think you just completely give up on the guys that's already been going.
I kind of would go away from Cleveland. I'm done with them. That was some of the worst stretch of basketball I've seen in my life, bro. It literally went from 13-6, and he went that the lead evaporated. Bro, he literally had 3 plays in a row to where it's like, bro, what is you doing? He airballed a 3, missed a wide open 3. Then he tried to take it coast to coast and got his shit pinned by Kristaps Porzingis. Like, bro, what are you doing? So I probably would go away from him, and Hardaway can have some of them minutes, bro. And I think
what has Senior been saying after all this?
Man, hey, bro.
I know he been having something to say.
Say that.
I told y'all my son should be playing, and you ain't gonna win a game till he play.
And say, man, Luka turning the ball over for sure, but offensively, I think he's been playing great. But defensively, he's a matador, bro. Everybody talking about how good he's been on defense. He just been standing around on defense against the Timberwolves. They just let him stand around. Timberwolves never attacked him. Celtics is just walking by him. They looking for Luka and they're walking by him. They're walking by him.
That's one thing. Like I can tell the difference in how Tatum play. Like when Lively switches on him, Tatum is more. I'm gonna settle for a jump shot. When Luka get on him, I'm gonna attack the basket. Whether I'm going up with it or I'm looking to kick out to somebody, because most of the time when Luka is on him, that's when they throw that shadow double at him, where it's like, okay, it don't look like a double until you in the paint, and now we double, and then Tatum already. I don't know. Y'all can say what y'all want about Tatum just be throwing crazy passes. Last game, boy was dotting people.
I would say, y'all say. Yeah. Last game he was diamond. I ain't gonna take it away from him, but I'll stick by what I said in game 1. That man was just throwing it somewhere.
If I'm the Mavericks, as bad as Tatum has been missing layups, I don't care if you get past Luka. Stay on your man because he is not about to have no 12 assists again.
Yeah,
that's not about to happen. Like, stay on your man. If Luka get beat, he get beat. Like at this point, Luka been in the league too long for y'all to not realize. Okay, yeah, if he going against another superstar, especially a wing player, he's probably going to get beat. Like, just accept it.
I think Luka got a long way to go with his body, bro. I think.
What did I tell you in game 1? You laughed at. I said,
no.
It didn't. Was I tripping, DJ? Or did you think the same thing when you seen him out there?
I mean, I think his body looks the same, but I'm saying I think it's always bad.
I
It
think
could
his
always be
body.
better.
He probably got one. You know how some people got their body types where they weight can easily fluctuate.
Okay, yeah.
I think that's what it is. Cause like, bro, we done seen him in the summertime, and he looks slim. Like he looks more toned up, and then he come back when the preseason and stuff start, and I'm like, what happened in just a couple weeks or a month? Like, what happened that fast?
He been drinking beer. Literally, Michael Finley had to take a beer from him.
I'm
Like
not gonna.
he
He
literally
probably
eats and
boy.
drinks bad, probably.
And you know they say in the states fast foods and just food in general is way unhealthier compared to other
Yeah,
countries.
Yeah.
So they also got something to do with it too, though. Man,
they McDonald's really gourmet in other countries. That's crazy. It's like gourmet McDonald's.
you
But
remember when they was talking about Shaq back in the day? Shaq talked about I love my Big Macs. Like, bro,
his
Luke,
diet is
Luka,
bad.
it's like
I
Luka.
can tell.
A lot of players need to talk. Like, I know a lot of people don't like him as just because he, people say, he the one who started this whole um, control your own narrative type thing, LeBron. But when it comes to like having a dietitian and all this, like if it just came to like, okay, I need questions on how to keep my body in top tier condition, I'm talking to LeBron.
Oh
I
yeah, for
don't care if we're
sure.
not teammates or not. Let me just pick your brain about this because you've been doing it for 20 plus years now. I need help. Like I'm still out
Yeah.
here eating like before I was a professional, and it's not.
Get me in
I
contact
just
with your people that's getting in trouble right now. Get me in contact with them people. You know what I'm saying? It's look at
Hey,
Ray.
I'll say like Luka defensively, he really only shows up every now and then he kind of tries when he really thinks they have a chance, or when it kind of like really starting to get to the nitty gritty. Like I could tell when it was down by 5, that man was really starting moving around out there trying to get in passing lanes and stuff. But you wish you could see some of that stuff a little bit more. I think if he did put a little bit more of a fight on the perimeter, it would actually be beneficial to the Mavs defense as well. But I
He's
mean,
averaging 3 steals, but it's like the on ball defense. You can
yeah,
just get by him. It's like that's what I think they should just sell out goes on, or just you got to stop the penetration. Whatever it takes to stop the penetration with Tatum and Brown, you got to stop it, bro. Because the way they just getting by people, and the way Jrue Holiday just getting wide open layups, wide open threes. Jrue Holiday has been killing the Mavericks.
yeah.
Like it's been absolutely disgusting. We've never seen this. Been the best offensive version of Jrue Holiday we done seen. The conference finals, and then now playing against the Mavericks. Jrue Holiday should bro. I ain't going.
He had like 18 points in the paint or something. Like,
Bro, he just standing in a dunker spot, waiting for Tatum to crack, waiting for Tatum to get to the paint. So I have to step up, and he getting easy layups. He literally just standing in the paint like a big man.
yeah.
And it just
I mean, but he was also keeping them honest because he was also hitting some threes too.
No,
I
yeah.
said that. Yeah, he was hitting threes.
That's
But
yeah.
yeah, this is definitely one of the better offensive playoffs that we've seen from Jrue. Uh, I mean, if I'm the Mavericks, what can the Mavericks really say? Do they want like how many games can Jrue Holiday really win you?
But see, that's the thing. It's
Like if I'm the
game
Mavericks,
one,
I'm
it was
asking that
Porzingis.
question.
Offensively, game one, it was Porzingis. Game two is Jrue. Hell, game three, it could be Tatum and White go off because
I was
Tatum
gonna
and White
say,
haven't played the greatest. We
Yeah,
got to
yeah, White and
choose
White.
just one person and just let them kill.
I'm
It's
gonna
like
say if I'm the Mavericks, I would shift towards throwing a double at Brown and letting Tatum get that 1-on-1.
Mm-hmm.
Because
That's what. Yeah,
so far we've seen Brown take advantage of the 1-on-1,
and
but
actually finish.
yeah,
mm-hmm.
so it's like maybe we need to throw that double at him and see what Tatum can do. Like okay, because I mean Tatum already has the highest usage rate on the team, so it's like we know you're gonna have the ball in your hand. Let's see what you do when you're no longer the focal point, like as our defensive assignment as a team.
And you been hearing all the talk about the Jaylen Brown stuff, so he's gonna want to try to score the ball better. I'll just let him do it. Live with his step back threes and live with him getting to the rim for a reasonable amount.
The only thing I will say this, even though Tatum has been pretty consistently bad shooting this playoffs, other than the conference finals. I mean, he still was kind of bad. He was bad from three, but he has kind of made a thing of I don't know what it is about the Mavericks when he plays in Dallas for some reason. He's kind of been pretty consistent and playing pretty good there. I don't know if it got something to do with him and Luka comparisons, and he feel like he got something to prove. But I don't know. Like you said, this game 3 it's gonna be very interesting to see who steps up for Boston because, like you said, game 1 and 2 has been already two different people, and it's not their number one or second option. I mean, Jaylen Brown had a good game 1. Don't get me wrong, but the main one that got it going for their offense was Porzingis. And then game 2, like you said, it was Jrue Holiday.
Okay.
But yeah.
I was just gonna ask y'all this because we've been talking about the game. Hey, can we talk about the commentary, please? I have not. This has been one of the worst NBA commentary seasons I've ever been through my whole life, bro. My whole entire life, bro. I done watched some WNBA, and Mark Jones was doing some WNBA. JJ Redick is not. I'm sorry, he don't deserve this spot, bro. Like his analysis is solid. Like he gives some good insights on the game, but he's not entertaining like that from a commentary perspective. No. You got Mike Breen, you got Doris Burke, and you got JJ Redick. And JJ Redick, you heard when JJ Redick told Doris Burke that wasn't nice when she said who was picked in front of Luka. Y'all heard that? And he was like, she was like, man, who was picked in front of Luka? And that's not nice, Doris. Why'd you have to bring that up? Like, bro, like, god damn, give us some entertainment. Like, he's so pro player, he don't want to say nothing out of bounds, which is cool.
He was messing around.
One thing I can say that especially when it comes to NFL and basketball commentators, the greatest of commentators are known for their slogans. I can't give you one slogan that Doris Burke or Redick has. Like, I don't know. Like, I know that's probably a silly thing to like point out, but it's like that's just you think about the greatest commentators. Like, yeah, they can talk basketball just as good as any other commentator, but man, what makes it entertaining and want to hear their voice is like, bruh, when Mark Jackson used to be like, hand down, man down.
Mm-hmm.
Mama call him Clay, I'm gonna call him. Like, it's just certain things that, like, it's just like, bruh, like, it's making you laugh. It's making you more in tune. You don't even want to turn your head from the game. Like, with Mike Breen is the only one up there that's really holding his own.
He carrying. Mike Breen is
Mike.
Carrying, bro.
Yeah. No, yeah, Mike Breen, he that one, but I don't know.
This one of the main reasons why I'm like, bruh, I know the NBA Finals has always been with, ABC and stuff for so long. Man, this is why all these years I used to always say, why can't TNT host it a couple times? Why can't y'all go do a back and forth and then see, okay, which one was more highly viewed? Which one did people like more in tune with? That's why I always say that. Cause I'm like, bro, I'm tired of seeing these guys. Stephen A. Smith up there before the game trying too hard to, like, bro, why are you talking so hard before the game?
What do they see? I just be skipping all through they pregame and they halftime show. I usually watch them all. ESPN has been terrible this year with their basketball coverage.
The halftime has no analysis at all. It's mostly ads.
And Stephen A just trying to go through his agenda. He don't talk no basketball. See Tatum, Jrue Holiday, bro. Just like they don't. You gotta. I like Bob Myers. Bob Myers actually kind of talks some basketball when he do say something here and there. Like he keep it basketball, but they only give him about 30 seconds. You got 30 seconds, Bob, and then it's back to Stephen A and his whatever he talking about.
Yeah.
But Doris got moments. She doesn't have slogans. Doris Burke better than she better than JJ Redick. I just think JJ Redick, he too new. He too new to be in the finals. He's too new to be in the finals.
That's crazy.
I do think it's crazy that he got elevated to a finals that quickly.
I finna say, man, if y'all talking about if y'all want to get somebody from a podcast, shoot, I mean, I don't know. He wouldn't have been the first choice.
Like,
But
come on, dog.
it pays to have LeBron as your partner.
Bro, what? But God damn, where's Mark Jones, man? Mark Jones and Doris Burke, they do good. Like Mark Jones got all them big ass words, and Doris Burke, she's super nice. So like they a good pair. I just think JJ Redick just kind of threw off the finals. Like the finals commentary has not been great.
Hey, you find any excuse to get on JJ Redick.
Chris, you can what has stood out about JJ Redick's commentary this finals?
No, nothing has, but
It's making me miss Mark Jackson and Van Gundy, man.
Come on now.
Yeah.
If we had never said TNT had better commentators than ESPN, the TNT commentators have been way better than ESPN commentators this playoff. Grant Hill included, and he's terrible.
I remember I don't think nobody got more hate than Chris Webber as a commentator.
Chris Webber, he's talk too slow.
No, he be saying the most basic stuff too. Did you see how he did that? That was just a textbook layup right there, man. Just 1-2 steps, left hand off the left leg. That's I'm like, bro, are you serious right now?
I thought Jamal Crawford was doing solid. I thought Jamal Crawford was better than Grant Hill.
That's the problem. When you're doing good, it's like, okay, man, you ain't trying to hear all that.
And then they start trying to bring Chris Paul and Draymond Green over there. And TNT messing up too.
They got Josh Hart on ESPN.
I'm upset. I don't know why. I'm upset though because I really thought JJ Redick could be like a Tony Romo type of analyst. I'm like the way he talks about the game. I'm like I can kind of compare how he talks about it, how Tony Romo is with football, and he ain't nowhere near Tony Romo when it comes to just being an analyst or a commentator of the game.
Bro, when he brought up something happening on the high quadrant, he called it the high quadrant. I'm like, okay, bro, you doing too much. This is not rocket science.
Man, he trying to educate people on basketball.
That's
why he and LeBron started their podcast, so people started learning basketball.
Man, LeBron started that podcast.
LeBron started repainting narratives.
Hey, okay. JJ about to be off the commentary team. He about to be on that coaching staff, so you ain't got to worry about it too long.
They trying to get Dan Hurley with everything they got.
I don't think they getting Dan Hurley no more.
He just rejected.
I can say, yeah.
He did say about Monday. Game 3. What do we plan on seeing? What do we hope to see? What should we see? Predictions. What's going on in Game 3?
From the Mavericks standpoint, I want to see better shot making and less turnovers. I don't want to see as much doubling on any player on Boston. Like I said, every so often, I think first play out or whenever the first time Jaylen Brown gets the ball, I throw a blitz double at him because, man, he been having the ball in his hand less than Tatum, but he got more turnovers, and he got a higher turnover. He got a higher turnover percentage. So it's like it's been times where they did kind of show a double, and it was one time he threw a crazy pass to Tatum, and Tatum had to save it from going backcourt, but then Tatum ended up throwing a turnover, trying to save it. So, and I've seen that a couple times where Jaylen Brown doesn't have the lane that he thought he has, and he gives up his dribble and he just throws it out. I'm like, you don't even check to see if the man open first, you just throw it. So in my opinion, I would try to see at times throw a little blitz double at what's called Jaylen Brown to see how he reacts to it. But those are three things I say. We need better shot making, especially from the 3-pointer, less turnovers, and on the defensive side, just everybody has to be responsible for their man. But at times, let's throw a blitz defense at Jaylen Brown. And then from the Celtics standpoint, other than Tatum and White needing to do better for us from a shooting perspective, I'm keeping the same game plan. I have some adjustments just in case if the Mavericks change some stuff, but for the most part, I'm gonna come out the same way how we been coming out. That's all. I mean, I Celtics could also do better for us shooting, but it ain't like they're missing wide open stuff because for the most part, Mavericks been doubling, and the Celtics played either they've been making the shots or they've been missing, but it's been wide open shots most of the time.
Yeah.
So it ain't like
it was just game 2. Game 1 they was great from 3. Game 2 they just they started like 3 for 15.
So yeah, only thing I can say from the Boston side is like I said, Tatum and White just happen to be better from a shooting standpoint. But everything else, I kind of I'm keeping everything the same. If I'm a Celtics coach.
What's your prediction for game 3? And then we'll go to Chris.
Now I do expect a stronger showing from the Mavericks, and I think that Boston may come out a little sluggish on this game. I don't know, for some reason. I just think they gonna be kind of taken aback by just the pressure of being up 2-0. Now, some people might say they're not gonna have no pressure. How you got pressuring you up? But it's the hardest thing about winning, especially your first finals, is keeping up to holding on to that lead. So I think Boston might mess around. It might come down to the wire, I believe. But I think Mavericks gonna pull this one out. I think we're gonna get a better showing from Kyrie. I think if they make the adjustments on some of the bench adjustments I said earlier, I think that's gonna prove to work in their favor. So I think Mavericks gonna get this one. It's gonna be a close one, but I think Mavericks gonna pull it out.
All right, Chris.
Man, I just remember when Phoenix Suns went up 2-0 against the Milwaukee Bucks. Everybody thought Chris Paul was going to get his first ring. Boston Celtics just went up 2-0 against the Mavericks, and, it's time for Tatum to get his first ring. But I think Luka and Kyrie have something to say about that. Let me tell you what's going to happen in this game 3. Kyrie is going to come out blazing hot. And then Luka is going to pick up from there, continuing that streak. Luka's going to be even more aggressive in this game than he was in game 2 when I said he needed to be more aggressive in order to force Boston's hand. Luka understood that was working well for them in the beginning. And so he'll continue that. He's going to force Boston's hand. The role players will be hitting their threes. PJ will be that third scorer. PJ may be even the second guy in this game. But let me tell you this. Mavericks are winning this game, and I feel it strongly. And I'm not even saying that just because they have to win this game. I kind of just feel like Mavericks will win this game. Luka is not going to necessarily let somebody go up 3-0 on him. And if he does, he's not going to let somebody go up 3-0 on him. And Boston will come out and make it a game for about good three quarters. And then Mavericks going to pull away. Mavericks going to pull away in that fourth quarter. And it's going to be a big win by probably about 10-12.
I'm going complete opposite with you guys. I think I had Celtics in 6. I think it's gonna be Celtics in 5. I think Celtics gonna win game 3 in Dallas. I just think the talent gap is even worse than we thought because I've noticed the Mavericks offense is very one-dimensional. If you can't get 2 on the ball, you can't get catch and shoot threes. If you can't get the lob, Mavericks offense kind of looks horrible. Kyrie hasn't been playing great. And a lot of that is because he's been missing shots. A lot of that too is because you have Derek White, you have Jrue Holiday, you have Jaylen Brown. It's not too many advantages for Kyrie. PJ is back to his regular bad shooting self from three. He has been getting to the lane and he has been finishing with that floater runner, and he's been a solid finisher. But when you're trading twos for threes, you're missing free throws. Guys are just not stepping up. Maxi Kleber was one of the biggest components of this, and he's damn near null and void. I just think the talent disparity between Boston and Dallas is just so glaring because we haven't even seen a good Tatum or Derek White game. We haven't seen a good Kyrie game, but we also haven't seen a good Tatum or White game. And
So you
if you
think
was
the
go
Mavericks?
steal,
Go ahead. No, finish.
if you was go steal one, I think it would have been game two because Mavericks came out and they looked like they was prepared to take it, and just the talent gap is what just pops off the screen. Celtics have better two-way players. Everybody on the Mavericks seems one-dimensional. It's not one two-way player that I trust on the Mavericks to where it's like, oh, he's really good on offense and really good on defense. And it's about 4-5 guys I can say that for on Boston. And that's what I was worried about going in. The two-way ability of Boston versus the one-dimensional ability of Dallas, because either somebody's good on defense, somebody's good on offense on Dallas. That's me personally. That's what it's looking like.
Why hold on. Why does Tatum get the benefit of the doubt and gets the nice shiny name tag of being a two-way player when on offense, scoring, shooting is a big part of offense? I granted he's been facilitating and playmaking to an extent. But why does he get the shiny nameplate? And then on defense, he is not necessarily locking up anybody. If you look, Luka is going at him and he ain't stopping him. Luka's not even worried about him. You can say, oh, Luka's not a two-way player because he doesn't play defense. All he does is play offense. When he's playing off, he's doing great. The Tatum gets the fancy, shiny two-way player because he rebounds and he play makes, but he can shoot crappy, and everybody's still willing to give him that pass.
You know why? Because yes, he's shooting 32 from the field, he's shooting 29 from three, but he's still averaging 17 points and 9 assists. That means he's accounting for over 30-some points still, playing some of the worst offensive basketball. He's still one player accounting for over 30-some points. So it just is what it is. He's still a two-way player because he's accounting for over 30-some points in his worst possible scenario offensively.
I was gonna say last game he had 18 points, but he assisted on 27. So that's 45 points he was responsible for.
What I don't want to hear is the things that Tatum is doing on the court is not more, even with Luka playing bad defense, is not more than what Luka is doing on the court, and I don't care.
No, Luka is pound for pound the best player in this series, but does it matter?
We're not saying he's playing better. We just saying on both ends of the court, Tatum has impacted. You can't say
not
the
even
same.
just Tatum. Everybody, Jaylen Brown, Kristaps Porzingis, Derek White. They have way more players that are two-way impacts than the Mavericks.
They starting five is Porzingis ain't starting right now, but they have
even
five
Horford.
players.
Even Horford.
I'm not gonna say
that's one thing that's making me upset about.
I ain't gonna say he's two-way, but he's shooting over 50% from the field and 37% from three. So it's like, when he getting his opportunities, he's been good.
Man, if Kyrie would actually take advantage of that matchup and stop letting him, if more people would just take advantage of that. No, it is you, Kyrie Irving. You should not be letting Al Horford prevent you from doing what you want to do.
It's only two players in 2 games that scored over 30 points for the Dallas: Luka and PJ Washington. Luka 62 points, PJ 31 points. For Boston, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players that scored over 30 points. So it's just the talent gap, bro. In my opinion, is what's the biggest thing. And then
30 total points.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
And then you have over 4 players averaging over a block. So, and then you got two players averaging over 2 steals. So it's the two-way impact just pops on the screen to me. That's all. No offense. But yeah, man, I still think Celtics gonna win game 3. Mavericks gonna win game 4. Celtics gonna win game 5 at home, win the series. And Jaylen Brown gonna be finals MVP.
I don't think it's a lock that Jaylen Brown wins Finals MVP if the Celtics do win.
I'm finna say
I don't.
if he had a repeat of game 2, because he was kind of shaky in game 2. If he had a repeat of game 1 and game 2, I'd say yeah, he's leading by far.
How's he
But
shaky in game 2?
He didn't have the
at one
best game in game 2.
at one point he was shooting inefficient,
I didn't think he was bad.
and
Especially,
like I said off camera before we started recording, Jaylen Brown is only asked to go out there and do one thing on offense. He ain't asked to facilitate. He ain't asked to play make, because they already know. We know you putting your head down, going to the rim, or you trying to get your midi game going, or you gonna hit spot up threes. We know we not gonna ask you a 3-level scorer. That's what you is. You a 2-way 3-level scorer at that. But we ain't asking you to go out there and out rebound nobody. We ain't going out there to ask you to get no assists. Like we just need you to score the ball on offense. And on defense, we know what you're gonna do. You're a dog on defense. So that's why, like, at times in game 2, it was like, where's Jaylen Brown at? Because he really wasn't. He didn't get hot in game 2. Like, so that's what I was saying in that aspect.
I think game 2 is a Jrue Holiday game for sure. But I still think Jaylen Brown was still the second most impactful player because he was getting out in transition. He was playing defense. He still shot 53% from the field. Like, he did have bursts and he did have quite a few turnovers. But overall, I still think Jaylen Brown was the second best player in that game. In the game 1, I feel like he was the first best overall player in the game. And I feel like he's just been the most consistent in those first 2 games to where he's the finals MVP front runner right now still.
I'll give you that. I'm not gonna say it's completely locked in, but I'll give you that though.
Yeah.
Anything else before we wrap it up? Because I think, I'm the only one that picked Celtics in game 3. So I'm trying to see what
I wouldn't be surprised if my prediction is wrong, though, to be honest.
I mean,
the only thing that'd be surprising is just seeing Mavericks go out like that in their first home game in the finals. I will, if that's gonna be a gut punch. That's gonna be one of them. That's gonna be one of them, because I feel like last game was a gut punch, because they definitely could have. They could have been walking. They could have been coming back to Dallas 1-1 easily. But you got to get over that.
Yeah.
So
anything else has been going on in these NBA streets y'all want to talk about? Anything popped out? Anything before we get off? Coaching? Anything about coaching? Is anything popped out about coaching, or is it just being strictly player performance? The coaches are doing their jobs.
No, like y'all said, Jason Kidd could have put in more offensive guys. Hardy should have had more minutes. Maxey probably shouldn't have been out there as long as he was. I can't fault Mazzulla. Mazzulla doing what do you want me to say about him besides what his system is working? And he seems to be making the necessary adjustments when it's time. So, but Kidd, I think they will make adjustments, and I think it'll look a little different at home. But we're just gonna have to see. So,
do y'all think it was some key missed calls and some of that down the wire? I know a lot of people talking about that PJ Washington when he got blocked. They said he got pushed in the back by Jaylen Brown.
You missed 8 free throws and you lost by 7. I'm not going to talk about it.
No, yeah. Honestly, I can't. No, they had the opportunities to No, like sure, yes, but that wouldn't have solidified, locked up anything. There was plenty of times where they had a good chance to cut the lead down even more. They turn over the ball. So just because that ref missed a call and PJ would go to the line and maybe make both of them, who knows? And we still down by 3. You got to get a stop on the other end and hit a 3. So I mean, that call, yes, making a 5-point game with like 40, 50 seconds left, that hurts. But but I'm not finna say that was just so bad that the Mavericks ain't had no chance or nothing. I do think they be calling some ticky tack fouls on on the Mavericks and Boston. The Mavericks want to be a physical team, but Boston seems to be allowed to be more physical, even offensively. They seem to be able to just run into whoever they want and then get a foul call if they miss shots. They called that sorry lane violation when Jaylen Brown missed a free throw. So whatever, man. But I'm not finna say the refs ruined the game for the Mavericks.
Okay. So everybody pretty much good if we wrap it up.
Yeah.
Do you think let me touch on this real quick. You think I heard a lot of people saying, the Mavericks got lucky too to get here or get to the finals, and they haven't played anybody, and now that they play in Boston, they look like out of water. So they said, "Oh,
Nah, the Mavericks had the most impressive run this whole playoffs. They had the most impressive run. I think the thing is Boston getting Porzingis back. That's been a big thing. And then Boston finally getting to the moment they've been waiting for. They've been pretty much coasting since the beginning of the season. So they are finally in the finals where they know they're really going to be judged, and they playing like it. The Mavericks. The only thing about the Mavericks is where you should be nervous is this gonna be your only chance to get here, because in the next couple years, all these other teams in the West they young. Like there's not one old team in the West that's like, oh, they possibly go fall off so we can rise up the ranks. You got Minnesota, that's a young team. OKC, that's a young team, and then you still got other teams lurking. So I think the thing about the Mavericks is you have to capitalize and get this championship now, because it's not a guarantee you get back to a conference finals, get back to a finals in the next year or two. And because the Mavericks are not the most talented team in the West. They just had the best run.
I agree. I think, like you can't necessarily discount what the Mavericks did. Oh, they played the Young Thunder. They played Anthony Edwards and the Young Timberwolves or whatever. Like, come on. They were the best defense in the league, but when the Mavericks beat them, then all of a sudden they're not good. So like stuff like that, I'm like, no, they did have a hard run. They just, took advantage of it.
I think the Mavericks need to find them a post scorer, somebody you can just go to in the post, and they just be like, "Oh, get a bucket."
Lucas should probably post up a little more too.
They
But
offense is so one dimensional.
yeah, I say like I feel like they should resort to that at the end of the shot clock rather than Luka dribble the ball down the court and then post with like 14 seconds left in the shot clock and then nobody does anything. Like I say, run offense for somebody else, and if nothing looking good, say Luka come post up real quick and get a bucket. So
What would a Lori marketing look for with the Mavericks, and what would they have to give up if
Man,
they
they ain't
could
got
get that?
enough. That would be perfect,
it would
but
be
they ain't
perfect.
got enough. Especially not to break up what's been working for them, because you have to give up like some key pieces that done got you to the finals. So
Josh Green and
these dudes
I don't
started
know.
with
I
Josh
don't know.
Green. Yeah, they ain't got enough.
That's as low as I don't know why. That's as low as I'm going to go for.
You have to give up. You have to give up PJ
PJ
Gafford, Josh Green, probably some picks.
PJ close to untouchable for me.
Lordy.
What has this game come to?
Whoa.
Nah.
That would be a perfect fit, but it's just
Nah,
that's not even realistic. There's no possible way they can get Lori marketing.
See, especially Danny Ainge. Danny Ainge probably won about 6-7 picks for Lori marketing.
They say go get Julius Randle, bring him back to the Metroplex. Look at Chris. He the way eyes got put.
Shoot, you don't think Mavericks be in a better place to get Randall?
They be in a little bit better place. I ain't even going.
I just think the Knicks gonna ask for a lot though.
You can't.
I need to see Julius Randle buy in on defense. So
Julius Randle play defense.
yeah, I might need to see it. I don't want no Christian Woods over here.
You gotta get like another guy that can go get his own. And I would preferably somebody that's bigger and that's a two-way player. And they can, because my thing is, man, just his one-dimensional offense is killing me.
Yeah, PJ can get his own shot and everything, but it just needs to be better. And then he also needs to shoot better. Derrick Jones Jr. can't get his own shot either. So it's just like if we had one of them wings, be a little bit better about getting their own shot or shooting in general, then it'd be tough. But I agree.
But yeah, man, we can wrap this up. This been another episode of Hoop Story Podcast. I'm Diddy Noseball. That's Ray. That's Chris. We gone. But yeah, man.